This again, the father with the little newborn baby. And then, so he went to, when we were still in New York, he left. I joined him in 1996 in October. Then he gave me initiation in November of 66. And then in January, he went to San Francisco to open up the second ISKCON temple. Then he came back in April. And when he came back, just after he came back, his servants from San Francisco, that is Govinda and Kursundar, they also came to serve him in New York from San Francisco. So she was also an artist. And I don't know if you've seen the book about Prahlad Maharaj with very simplistic paintings of Prahlad and Nrsimhadev. Anyway, she and her husband did that under Prabhupada's direction. They would ask him questions every day. So, because we were both painters, Prabhupada told us, you should have competition between the two of you, just like Krishna and the gopis and Radharani. What kind of competition is that? Radharani would see Krishna smile, so she would smile more, seeing how happy he was. And then the gopis would see her smile, so they would smile even more. And then Krishna would see them smile, and he would smile even more, being so happy that they were so happy. He said, that's the kind of competition you should have. And then he showed me in Govindadasi one of those typical Brijbasi prints of Krishna standing by the moonlight by the Jamuna River. And so he said that, he told us that Rupa Goswami wrote one verse of one gopi telling her friend, "Oh Saki, don't go there by Keshigat, by the Jamuna River, in the full moon night." Why? Why shouldn't I go? Because then you'll see Krishna standing there in a threefold bending form, playing his flute so sweetly. So what's wrong if I go and see him? Oh, if you go and see him, then you'll forget all about your society, friendship, and love. So he was showing us right from the beginning the importance of our service as painters, that they would help make devotees. So we'll take a little break, and Vasanti will show you you can all gather around the computer. She'll, if any of you have computers, she'll put them on your computer. But in the meantime, she'll show you little slivers of it.
You get the speaker. It's quite loud.
I have on one side, Prabhupada was on the other side of the fire. We were throwing it, and then Prabhupada said very calmly, "Unto the fire, not unto me." Very calm. Oh, this is the building of the Ratha Yatra cart. That's Jayananda. The other one was Shyamasundar. How he's the one who sent the first mridangas to Srila Prabhupada, and all of Srila Prabhupada's big Sanskrit books that he used to read from when he was giving his early ISKCON lectures in the first New York City temple, and also the books that he translated from. And also the first didi of Radha and Krishna. I didn't know, though, who was sending it until 26 years later. But anyway, so he sent the mridanga, and two mridangas. One stayed in the New York temple, and the other one Prabhupada was going to take to the San Francisco temple. He was leaving New York for the first time to help open the San Francisco temple. That's where Mukunda joined in New York, and then he and his wife Janaki, and then they got initiated in New York and then went to San So he was taking the Mridanga to San Francisco. So we all went with him to the airport. And then I was holding the Mridanga. So right outside of the airport, there was this big, maybe a little taller than this table. So I thought, all right, let me just rest the Mridanga on the table. But I didn't look at the table clearly enough to notice that it was a slanted table. So I put the Mridanga on the slanted table, and it slid down and dropped and broke into pieces at Prabhupada's feet. So you can imagine how I felt. And Prabhupada wasn't too happy about it either. So I was just like stunned, I couldn't say anything. And then we all went into the lounge. Prabhupada was sitting there, we were all sitting around him. And he saw how bad I was feeling, and he said, "Don't feel bad, we will get many Mridangas, but don't break them." And when he was leaving, he embraced the boys, and he patted the girls on our heads. And also Prabhupada put on my first sari, which was a red print silk sari that Brahmananda's sister had given him. He gave it to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada gave it to me. And he put it on me, something like just wrapped it around and around. And you can see that sari in there.
Okay.
So if any of you want, just give Vasanti your stick, and she'll put these 4 very, very gorgeous videos, very moving videos of Prabhupada. I did a Rasa Leela painting, and for the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And I was reading in the manuscript, because we got to read all the manuscripts before the publication, that Krishna and the gopis' hairs were all loosened and their dresses were all loosened. And I had also read in another place, in the Nectar of Devotion, that Krishna, his hair was so long that he looked like he was being embraced by the goddess of fortune. So I made Krishna and the gopis with these flying out wild hair and wild clothes falling all over the place. And about 10 devotees came with me to the park so I could take pictures of them, and it was a really big production. So then the painting went into the book. The book was published, like 10,000, 20,000 copies. And then when Prabhupada saw the painting, he said, "This painting looks like a hippie plaything. It should be ripped out of all my books." And then he was praising the one that Devahuti did, which is just a copy of the Indian print, very dignified. You know how the Indian Rasa Leelas are.